Hey everybody, welcome to the Hamakua Homestead. If you're new here, my name is Tiffany, and today is our second video in the Make It March collaboration. Leisa over at Sutton's Days has put together Make It March so that we can show and create ideas on how to use your canned goods. So I went grocery shopping in the pantry and I came up with this 5-layer dip. I don't know if I have chips. Okay, good idea. For every day in the month of March, you are going to see a video come out from one of all 7 of us collaborators that are putting together all of these fantastic recipes. So every single day in the month of March, be on the lookout for this logo, and look for this logo. And then you're guaranteed to find something delicious. For today, we are going to do a very, very simple recipe. We are going to be making a dip. It is going to involve salsa, corn, carnitas, black beans, and diced tomatoes. And of course, we might add a few things like cheese as we go along. And at the end of March, make sure that you tune into Leisa at Sutton's Days, as she is going to be giving away a prize of a pressure canner. So make sure that you find all of the Make It March videos, and each time that you comment on one of them, that is an entry to win the prize at the end of the month. Let's get started. So, I do have to admit that this is my first time putting together this dish, so I'm winging it a little bit, but hey, we're all learning here, aren't we? I think I'm going to start off with the carnitas, and I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and shred it up with a fork a little bit to make a nice layer of meat at the bottom. And I'm also thinking that all of these pint jars are not going to fit into one dish, and when you add all these up, it's going to be a lot of food, so I'm going to make 2 separate ones so that we can have one now, keep it in the house, and I'll give one away. It smells delicious. Suppose you could definitely make this recipe with any type of meat, even ground beef, whether it's canned or fresh. You could really do it either way. Ground beef or pulled pork. Gosh, really just anything you want. There are bay leaves in here. I'm going to leave those out. Just gonna kind of shred it up a bit. It's already nice and tender, of course, because it went through the pressure canner. I'm just looking to make sure we can have a nice, beautiful layer. Another thing to keep in mind while you're doing this, you do not have to put it in glass. I'm simply doing it in glass so that we can see the pretty layers. If you don't care about seeing them, use metal or whatever you like that's oven safe. I'm thinking the beans are next. I'm going to drain the liquid out. Pork and black beans. The meat turned the color of the beans. That's funny. And we certainly cannot let this piece go to waste, so we'll add that in there for sure. I didn't rinse the beans or anything. I'm not that worried about it. Again, with this one, you can use whatever kind of bean tickles your fancy. Black beans, pinto beans, kidney beans, whatever you enjoy. And if you like one of these ingredients a lot more than you like another, or you want to leave one out or add a different one, you can do whatever you want. It's your kitchen. Your kitchen, your rules. Now, I'm not going to add any salt or anything at this moment. I'm tempted to. Their layers are coming together kind of nice. But I know that there's already flavoring in the carnitas, in the pork, and I also think I probably added salt to the beans when I canned them as well. And then the next layer, I wrote on it salted tomatoes. So I'm not going to add salt right now. I might later, just a sprinkle on top. We'll see. But I'm also known in this house to overdo it on the salt, so I'm trying not to do that. Here's our tomatoes. Lovely. I'm going to drain the liquid off. But you know what? I think I'm going to add a layer of cheese on top of these beans. There's no such thing as too much cheese. Okay, now we can add our tomatoes. I might do a whole pint of tomatoes in each of these containers actually. All right, now let's go ahead and do a pint of our corn. I'm gonna drain the water out of this one too. I do have to admit, when I made this, when I canned this corn, I was not careful about keeping the corn silks out, not in the slightest. So it's a little messy, but it'll be all right. It's been all right so far. And last up is our salsa. Oh my goodness, this one smells so good. Whew, yeah. But of course, we need to top it off with cheese. But first, taco seasoning. Because why not? That's why. Cheese. Must have more cheese. Well, 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 I just made a big old mess now, didn't I? Of course I did. Of course I did. So we're gonna pop this into a preheated oven at 375. I bet this is one of the easiest recipes I've ever made with canned goods, honestly. And of course I'm using the term recipe very loosely. I gotta clean up this big old mess. Oven's preheating to 375. Well, I have to say, I think this is looking good, but we do have to wait for it to cool down before we can give it a taste test. Oh, we could put some hot sauce on it too. Also, I don't have sour cream. Putting sour cream on top, yeah. This one's called the Third Eye Opener. It is a fermented hot sauce. I didn't ferment it, I bought it. Good, how are you? There's one thing that is quite clear. There's too much liquid. I wish that I would have strained out the salsa. Okay. Get a piece of meat, cheese, corn, tomatoes. The flavors are banging. All right, so literally the only two things that I would change of what I did is I would drain out the liquid of the salsa and anything else I could, for a matter of fact. There's so much liquid in there. In fact, I'm gonna drain it out. But other than that, just keeping it in the oven for a little longer. I ended up baking it at 400. And then for the last 3 minutes, I put it on broil. Next time I do this, I'm gonna leave it at 400 for longer. It was in there for 15 minutes, so longer would be better. It's good. With the amount of liquid that's in here, it's almost like a Mexican soup. The flavor's so good. It's like a really good, it's so good. The amount of liquid that's in there, unless you just want to eat it with a spoon. Don't tell me what to do. Hey, you can. There ain't nothing stopping you. The flavors are really, really perfect together. The carnitas with the salsa. It is fantastic. As far as the salt goes, that's definitely on a personal preference level for sure. I would probably add a little bit of salt into the layers next time that I do this. But on the other hand, the salt from the chips themselves, probably enough. Probably enough for most normal people. I'm kind of weird. A little bit weird. And that's gonna do it for today. Don't forget to go check out all the other channels. They will be listed in the description box down below, so you can go check out their new recipes, and make sure that you comment on each of them so that you have a chance to win a prize at the end of the month. Thank you for joining me today on the Hamakua Homestead. I'll see you again soon.